Hello, everyone. My name is Gary Ross, and I'm Vice President for Admission and Financial Aid at Colgate University. We're delighted that you've taken time for the Lunch and Learn program to learn about Colgate University. And before I get into talking about Colgate, let me say what's first and foremost on my mind, and that is thank you. Thank you so much to each of you that are a part of the Service to School family for the service, very important service that you've provided to our nation. We are all stronger. We are all better because of your efforts. So Colgate University is a liberal arts college. We're located in Hamilton, New York. Hamilton, New York is about 4 hours north of New York City. It's about 50 minutes from the Syracuse airport, which for those of you that would rely upon air transportation, that would be the airport you would use if you were coming to visit or stay as a student at Colgate. We have about 3,000 students, and the vast majority of whom are pursuing the undergraduate degree. We are completely undergraduate in our focus. We offer 56 majors in a wide variety of subjects. Our campus, which you can see here, is located in a rural part of New York State, 10 miles from the geographic center of New York State. It's been called twice in the last decade the #1 most beautiful college campus in the country. I believe that it's a truly stunning place and a wonderful place to get an education, but even more special than the campus are the people who make Colgate what it is. I hope you'll get a sense of that from the conversation that we are having today. For us, it all begins in the classroom. And this is a version of a classroom. This is a lab. And the person in the center of the photograph that you see before you is Professor Engda Hagos. He's one of the leading cancer researchers in the world. And he's working with 2 students in the lab that he is responsible for overseeing. And the reason why I included this slide is it speaks volumes, I believe, about the way in which Colgate approaches education. And the way in which I think you will find, whether you're in a science-oriented classroom or any other type of classroom, Colgate approaches education is that you can learn more by working together with the experts that are responsible for teaching you. In this case, Professor Hagos is practicing something that our science classes believe are very important for students to maximize their learning potential. And that is, you can learn more by doing science than you can by being lectured to about science. This is yet another lab, and this might be of particular interest to those of you who have been involved in some sort of work that examines the heavens above throughout the course of your service in various parts of the military. This is another lab that's called a visualization lab. Colgate's one of the few colleges or universities to have a visualization lab, and it can bring you inside something as small as a molecule or something as large as a star. Now, perhaps in the course of your service to our country, you've done quite a bit of travel. Well, you will certainly have the opportunities to do more travel if you wish while you are at Colgate. This is an example of one of our 23 different off-campus study programs that we offer at Colgate University that are led by Colgate faculty members. The Colgate Off-campus study opportunities, however, do not end with just the 23 programs that we run. There are about 150 other programs with which Colgate is affiliated. And so between the programs that we run and our affiliated programs, there are very few places in the world that you would not be able to pursue your studies. Needless to say, if you were traveling abroad or if you were traveling to other parts of the United States to pursue off-campus study and you were receiving financial aid, as most of our people who have come to us from various forms of the military have received financial aid. And if you were one of those, your financial aid would travel with you. This is yet another classroom. This is a smaller classroom, but this is a first-year seminar. All of our entering students take a first-year seminar. They're typically about 40 or 50 different first-year seminars that are offered on a wide variety of topics. Now, the person teaching this first-year seminar is Professor Peter Balakian. Professor Balakian is a Pulitzer Prize winner. He's the author of a number of different books, including books that have wound up very high up on the New York Times bestseller list. And the point that I'm trying to make here with this particular slide, it's not just that we have small classes. Our average class size is about 17. But the point also is that when you arrive on the Colgate campus, you immediately have access to professors who are nationally and internationally renowned experts in their field, people like Professor Balakian. You might wonder about what there is to do outside of the classroom since Colgate is in a rural area. There's a common misconception that because we're in a rural area, there's nothing to do. There are a number of different opportunities. I can't possibly describe them all during the course of our time together today, but this is one example how many people spend their time, and that is in service to others. This is a Habitat for Humanity project in which Colgate students are involved. Now, in your course of time serving the United States at various places around the world, so many of you on a daily basis have been involved in not just making life better for us, but saving lives in the process of doing just that. And that's what these students are doing here. They are training, the two of them, one on the right and one on the left, are being trained by the chief of the all-volunteer firefighting department in Hamilton, New York, and they have become active volunteer firefighters. I know of at least one former Marine who came to Colgate to pursue his education, who decided that the way in which he wanted to give back to our community was to get involved with our local fire department, just like these two students are. We also are one of the smallest colleges in the country to support a full Division I athletics program. This is obviously a picture of our ice hockey team. Last year, we had nationally ranked ice hockey teams in both the men's side and the women's side. We've had a men's basketball team that 4 out of the last 5 years has gone off to March Madness. And you can't imagine for a small college campus the amount of excitement that permeates every corner of that campus when our basketball team goes off to participate in the NCAA field of 64. This slide reminds me that I should be bringing my comments to a close, but I wanted to make sure that before I did, I talked to you a little bit about financial aid and that I also talk to you about discovering opportunities to pursue after your time at Colgate has ended. At Colgate, we want to make your education accessible and affordable, and we meet 100% of your demonstrated financial need. We have a special program for those who have served the United States in the military, but for anyone, regardless of their service, we have the Colgate Commitment. And that is a program that leaves a student without any loans at all, provided they come from a family income background of $175,000 or less. As we go further and talk about life after Colgate, I like to talk about Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado. Lieutenant Governor Delgado used to be Congressman Antonio Delgado. Prior to that, you see that he was our commencement speaker, but he was also a member of the Colgate class of 1999. After he graduated from Colgate, then Antonio Delgado received a Rhodes Scholarship, perhaps the most prestigious academic form of recognition one can receive. From there, he went on to study at Oxford. From there, he went on to Harvard Law School, and from there, he became a lawyer before eventually deciding that he wanted to give back to his community, and he ran in a predominantly white congressional district and became the first person of color to win election in an upstate New York congressional district. And now, as I mentioned, he's serving New York State as its lieutenant governor. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and just talk a little bit about what you might be able to expect from Colgate should you wind up choosing to come to Colgate. Our most recent statistics indicate that 99% of our most recent graduating class that's been out 6 months or longer is either in a job, in graduate school, or otherwise doing what they want to be doing. I hope that this has been helpful for you in terms of learning a little bit about Colgate. I'd be more than happy to talk on the phone, on Zoom, or through email with any of you that might have a further interest in exploring Colgate. You can reach me at any time through my email address, which I consider to be the worst email address at Colgate. Again, my name is Gary Ross, so that leaves my email address as gross, GROSS, at colgate.edu. I'd be delighted to hear from you. And thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Hi, Gary. Thank you so much for sharing that information with our applicants. I know they are going to learn a lot about Colgate and the opportunities available to them, especially the focus on research. I think that's really something that a lot of our applicants are looking forward to. So I will send this recording over to Amanda. She will kind of cut it down to fit on our website for our applicants to learn more and reach out to you with any additional questions. Do you have any questions for me, either about the recording or the website where the information will be housed?
No, I think you've made it very clear, Sydney. And are you on a vacation day too, or you're just working remotely today?
Yeah, so our whole team is remote. So my family's active duty Army still. So we are currently stationed in El Paso, Texas. So I work from home here, and then wherever the Army sends us next time. But very fortunate to work for, an organization like Service to School that understands the military lifestyle. So
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Well, you might be in a place that's about as warm as where I am. I'm just a little west of you, just outside of Phoenix. So we're both really getting blasted today with
Oh yeah,
the heat.
absolutely. My family lives in Tucson. So
Oh, okay.
whenever
You know all about it.
yeah, whenever I'm talking to my mom about how warm it is here, we're usually like 104. She's, always trying to up me by saying, well, it's 110 here.
Yeah.
Usually she wins. But no, El Paso has been great, especially to be able to be close to family. So do you travel to the Phoenix area often?
I do travel as a part of my responsibilities here,
Mhm.
but I'm also with family here in Arizona. So
Wonderful.
that's what brings me here today. And
Yeah.
August 2nd was the only day this was available, and I knew it was vacation time, but 45 minutes out of the day for something as important as this is fine with me.
Yeah, well, we certainly appreciate your time. I hope you have some relaxation planned for the rest of your vacation before I know the busy travel season will pick up here in a bit for you all. So we truly appreciate
Yeah.
you. And I hope, like you said, you get some time to relax. So
All right. Thanks
we'll
for
be
your
in touch,
time.
Gary.
Thanks for your
Absolutely.
time and all the information, Sydney. Be well.
For sure. Take care.
Bye-bye.